Teardown. This is episode number 9, and I'm coming live to you from Meriden, Connecticut. This is the post-election SEO Teardown. So a few notes before we get started. First of all, a lot of people are upset that Trump won, and I get it. I understand. I definitely was not for Trump. I don't like Trump as a political candidate. And with that being said, you still have to live your life. So get out there and move on. You know, the people in the White House really have no impact on your day-to-day life. So just move on and go about your business. Number 2. What was number 2? I forget now. Oh, well, this is episode number 9 of the SEO Teardown, where I talk SEO and potentially analyze a site or two. Well, I really don't have time for more than one site on a show. But you learn about SEO talking to me. SEO is search engine optimization. I am Scott Gombar. I am a Google certified partner and HubSpot inbound certified. And I love to talk tech in the tech world with you. Oh, was I on after the Cubs won on Wednesday night. So congrats to the Chicago Cubs on ending 108 years of frustration. That is awesome. It was a great Game 7. I watched it. Had to step late for it, but it was a great game. So awesome. So I found this article on Forbes.com, 7 SEO trends that will dominate 2017. And I kind of talked about a similar article last week. So you're probably wondering, well, why are you talking about the same thing again? Because if you read the article, it's not the same thing. It's different. So there's 7 SEO trends that will dominate 2017. Some of them are different. Some of the trends are the same. So I thought I would talk about it, spend a minute and talk about it and go over the things that you may or may not be doing, or your SEO may or may not be doing, that you want to check up on. It wasn't last week. It was the week before when I talked about something similar. So the first one, rise of accelerated mobile pages, AMP. And if you pay any attention to my blog or my podcasts or anything at all that I do, then you probably have noticed I've talked about AMP on more than one occasion, and to a lesser extent, Facebook instant articles. Okay. And they're very similar in nature. What it is, what Google AMP is, Google will take your web page, mostly blog posts, and essentially strip it down to just text. Save it on the Google server so that when somebody loads it on a mobile device, it loads faster. So you'll see what looks like a mobile-ready page. So Google launched AMP, I believe it was was it this year or last year? I'm not sure. I think it was this year it was launched. And if you have a WordPress site, it's really simple to set up. So set it up. And then you have AMP set up, and when you load your page on a mobile device, you'll see a mobile version of your page. Again, it's mostly blog posts that this is appropriate for, but also your website in general. The idea is that it loads faster, and the people loading the content will be happy. People don't want to wait. They want the information like that. They don't want to wait. They want instant gratification. So that's where AMP comes in. So the rise of accelerated mobile pages, which actually AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Project. That is number 1 on this article, the 7 SEO trends for 2017 that will dominate 2017. The rise of AMP. It was number 1. Number 2, the rise of dense content. So what does that mean? Writing content that is unique and not similar to other content that has been written and is out there. And if you're writing again about, well, let's say the 7 reasons why the SEO 7 SEO trends that will dominate 2017. Well, it's already been written. I actually wrote something similar, but my items were not anything like this, and it was for 2017. It was things that your SEO may have missed, and that is on my website, blog post, and I followed that up with last week's episode of the SEO Teardown. But writing content that is thought-provoking, Okay, so you're writing content that is thought-provoking, not just the the #1 SEO tip from Eric R. Hey, Eric, just so you know, I was on Smile Time and then I left, and the reason is I was having some technical difficulties, so I'm back on Smile Time today because they actually emailed me and said, hey, can you one SEO tip that I can give you is develop content, really. Develop content for your audience. Um, develop content for your audience. And what I mean is don't just write for Google's, I went off. I think there's a delay. I tried to put your question on the screen, but it didn't work. But develop content for your audience. And what I mean by that is don't develop highly technical content. You know, Eric, I don't know if you want to share what you do, but whatever it is you do, there's a technical aspect to that, what it is you do. And most people won't understand it. And if they don't understand it, then you're turning them off and they're not going to stay with you and you're going to lose them. What Google is looking for now, not so much keywords, although they're still important. And what they're looking for is people that are going to come to your content and interact with your content. And, well, you make animated videos, then people should definitely interact with your content. But now here's the thing. Google can't read the video itself. What they can read is the content that you write around the video. If your videos are on Vimeo or YouTube, especially YouTube, then make sure they have the appropriate tags and description and so forth. And make sure you add a link back to your site on both of those sites if you have your videos stored there. But creating content around those videos, and it's awesome, by the way, because what people look for is different ways to consume content. And I talked about that last week. To consume content. See, for me, I prefer video over audio and then audio over written. But occasionally I have to read, you know, depending on where you are. But write the content for your audience, not for your, I'm sure you have friends in the industry who understand what you're talking about when you start geeking out on them, right? But your audience in general probably won't get it. So write content for them that they're going to interact with, and that's the most important piece. And interaction means reading it, because remember, Google can see how long they're on the page, sharing it, commenting on it, coming back to it. All of those things are interactions. So that's what Google is going to be focusing on in the future. That's what RankBrain is all about, and that's their artificial intelligence part of their algorithm. That's growing part of their algorithm right now. So I hope that helps. So anyway, back to the article I was talking about, and that was the 7 SEO trends that will dominate in 2017. No problem, Eric. You're welcome. The rise of dense content. Again, creating content that is going to be thought-provoking is essential, not creating the same blog post that's already been created a dozen times. I see it all the time. The 10, and I'm guilty of it. I've done it in the past. The 10 social media trends for 2016. I think I wrote something like that last year going into 2016. So, you know, I'm sure somebody's going to write the same thing for 2017. Number 3, machine learning. So here you go. This is what I was just talking about, Eric. RankBrain, machine learning. Google RankBrain was released late 2015. I think it was October or November. So it's been a year, and that's the artificial intelligence piece of the search engine, and it accounts for, they say, about 15% of it right now. And what it does is it determines what the searcher's intent was, not so much what they put in. And what I've said in the past is, if you've ever done a Google search and you type in something and it didn't really return what you look for, so you type in something a little different, you modify the search, you do it again, and then you finally get what you want. Well, Google's trying to eliminate that with RankBrain, and that's really what RankBrain is all about. And as it continues to grow and learn how searchers search, then the search results will continue to come back more and more from RankBrain. So machine learning through RankBrain right now, that's the Google piece. And Bing does, from what I've read, they have their own version. So look for that as well. Number 4, personal branding. And I'm personal branding right now. Personal branding on my show Friday that I have, growthsuccessradio.com, that we do over there on Whoza. You know, it's also on Facebook Live, but not on my page, on my personal profile. We're talking to Sandra Long, who wrote a book, LinkedIn for Personal Branding. Personal branding is going to be huge in going forward. If your business wants to succeed, you have to have a personal brand. And one of the ways to develop a personal brand is by doing stuff like this. There's tons of live video platforms out there, Smile Time being one of them, Whozo being another one. You can live stream on Facebook. You can live stream on Periscope. You can I believe you can even do it on Twitter natively now, or maybe you do it through Periscope. You can post stuff live on Snapchat and on Instagram. So there's tons of opportunities to build your personal brand. You can write a book. You can write guest blog posts. You can guest appear on other podcasts. You could do all of these things to build your personal brand. And that's going to be a big part of SEO going forward, according to this article. And I would agree with that. So the first 4 so far, we have AMP, which I definitely agree with. Dense content. The reason that's going to be successful, again, is going back to the interaction piece. People are going to want to interact with your post if it's thought provocative. And if there's something unique and original about your blog post and it's not the same thing that somebody else down the street wrote. Number 3, Google Rank Brain or machine learning. Yes, 100% agree. Personal branding, 100% agree. User experience is number 5. Again, I completely agree. And part of user experience is how fast does your website load? Is the content user-friendly? You don't necessarily need all the bells and whistles, although a good-looking site. I will tell you that I look for businesses that have ugly sites on purpose because they need help, right? And if your site is ugly, it's a turnoff to people that are coming to look for you, especially if you do B2B. It's a turnoff for people that want to do business with somebody in your space. If you have an ugly site, so the user experience, if you have an ugly site, if your content sucks, if you have grammatical errors, I know grammatical errors are going to happen. I'm guilty of it. By the way, if you haven't used Grammarly, use Grammarly. Grammarly is unbelievable. I love it, and I will continue to use it. But grammatical errors are going to slip by, and the occasional one is okay. But if your site is just riddled with grammar problems, you're going to have problems. Is your site loading fast? Does it load on mobile, which we already know a year and a half ago, Google introduced that into their algorithm. If you were not mobile ready, you were not going to rank on Google, or at the very least, you were going to be further down the ranking. Excuse me. All right, that's number 5. Number 6, and I apologize if some audio starts here. It looks like it's muted, so it should be okay. Apps will feel the love. Now, this one I'm not too sure of. There are some believe that apps will take a back, or have taken a back seat, and will continue to take a back seat. Not every business needs an app. I'm not even sure, and I'm in digital media, and I'm not even sure that I need an app. And I had an app for a little while. I think it was only downloaded once. And so I abandoned the app. It's still there, but I abandoned the app and haven't updated it in quite some time. So I don't know if that's going to be true or not. I don't think every business has a need for an app. So I wouldn't want to put all this money into an app and then not get used and just because of SEO purposes. I will say one thing that has helped me that's relatively inexpensive is adding SSL to your site. Now, I only moved up a few spots, so you're not gonna go crazy, but it has helped. But to a point, there are some drawbacks, and that is if your site does referral traffic. So if you have a referral link to something, you're going to lose out on those links. But so that's off topic. But anyway, apps will feel the love. I'm not sure that I agree with that. So we'll see what happens going forward in 2017. And then personal digital assistants, what that is the Siri, Cortana, and OK Google. Of course, these are going to be huge. I've already been talking about this for years. You pick up your phone. Where's my phone here? There it is. You pick up your phone. I have Android. You pick up your phone. You're talking to your phone. Okay, Google, I need a pizza or something like that, right? And that's going to that is going to play big into SEO. And the reason is we don't write and talk the same way. So I write in a certain voice and I talk in a certain voice. So when I speak into OK Google or Siri or Cortana, and I have access to all three of these, then I'm not going to speak the same way I would type it. And when I type, I put a little more thought into it than when I do when I speak. Right? So that means that when people use these tools for search, RankBrain is going to be huge in this. Whatever Bing's tool is going to be called is huge in this. And the search results might be slightly different because we don't search the same way with voice than we do with typing. So I would agree with that one as well. So really the only one I'm not so certain about is the apps will feel the love. So it's good article, 7 SEO trends that will dominate in 2017. That was on Forbes. Go check that out. The author is Jason Demers. So check that out. And I'm here every Wednesday at noon, except for next Wednesday. So the third Wednesday of the month, I cannot be on at noon, so I come on a little later, probably around 1:30, maybe 2 o'clock. So look for that next Wednesday, 1:30, 2 o'clock. I'm going to say 2 o'clock to be safe. And so I'll schedule it for 2. So I'll come on at 2 no matter what. And this has been the SEO Teardown from Scott Gombar Digital Marketing. And until next week, guys, go check out my site, scottgombar.com.